believe we will find out who killed her, and I hope that the spirits can help us with the evidence that we need to solve this case, so some peace can be brought to Nancy's remaining family members. I also want to say this. If anyone listening tonight has any information about this case, you can send a message to our email address at 187PI@187PI.com, and also call the Paulding County Sheriff Department if you have any leads or tips. Now, I will tell you another case that we are working on in the jail is the case of a little girl named Audrey. She wasn't always there. She came a few months after we bought the jail, like, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 months after we bought the jail. We caught her on EVP, first of all. Our very first interactions. It was in the middle of the night. Everyone was sleeping. She could be heard singing. So once we found this out, she told us her name was Audrey. We asked her how old she was, and she told us she was 10. And at one point I asked her what year it was for her, and she had told us it was 1923. So now I'm wondering where this little girl came from, because so far on our research, we're coming empty-handed as her belonging to any of the sheriffs. We're kind of thinking maybe she's displaced from a hotel that burnt down. We're not sure, but I will tell you some things that's happened in the jail with Audrey. We're trying to find out a little bit more about this little girl. She's become quite interactive as of lately. There are some things that's happened recently here at the jail that I have never witnessed at all. Like Lori Dorsey, I think that was little Audrey on the counter, because we were having a birthday event for Gary Murray, who also is deceased at the jail. We were having a birthday party, and we invited her to come down to get cupcakes. Well, we think Lori may have caught her on the kitchen counter with the SLS camera, and we have posted the video. It's quite amazing. And not only that, just like a couple of weekends back, some of the most amazing evidence happened that I have never seen. The energy and the chemistry of all the people that was at this ghost hunt, and it was a ghost hunt weekends ghost hunting event. It was a small, intimate event. The chemistry and the energy was so perfect. And at the end of the hunt, like 1 a.m., after the official guided ghost hunt part of the evening was over, everyone gets to investigate the jail on their own, wherever they want in the building. I mean, clear to the next morning if they want, however they want to do it. Well, the guys come down and got me, and they asked me if I had wires running through the floor on the 3rd floor, and that was the living quarters, and that's where Audrey is all the time. And I'm like, no, show me what you're talking about. Well, let me tell you, these, all the K2 meters, actually all the meters, were going off full force, and not only that, they were moving, like they were following Audrey around the upstairs. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. So, you know how usually you go to a ghost hunt and you sit down and you be really still and quiet and you try to get what you can get, right? Well, it wasn't the case. They were following her around. But the most other amazing thing that happened was she likes Boo Bears. I will know. Um, I will tell you, Lori had brought one with her, Lori Dorsey, when she came a week prior to that. And we found that she really liked playing with that. And Lori caught her on SLS camera, her stick in front of that Boo Bear as well. And I will tell you, little Audrey seemed pretty happy and she played with that bear quite a bit. Well, anyhow, these fellas had the bear also. And they were leading her around with this bear. It was the craziest thing I ever saw. The one guy bent down and he said, Audrey, can you come here and give me a hug? All right, so we've got our K2 meters all around him. And nothing, of course, nothing's going off. And he was holding a Boo Bear, nothing. This guy, his name was Mike, he says, all of a sudden, he says, I'm getting really cold. All of a sudden, all the meters lit up, the bear he was holding lit up, and he's like, I truly feel like someone's hugging me. It was a sight you would have had to see it to believe it. We even put our meters up on his body. They were solid red the whole time. And this went on probably for a good minute. And I asked him, I'm like, do you have any electronics on you? Do you have this on you? Where's your phone at? Is it on airplane mode? I mean, I was like so taken by this. And he's like, I got nothing. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna step out on a limb. Do you have a pacemaker? And he's like, no. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, okay, I gotta see if this is for real. I had him go into the kitchen. We put the meters all on him, nothing. I put the meters on me, the other two guys, nothing. I said, okay, try to lead Audrey in here. I want to see this happen again. For some reason, she really liked him, and he talked to her, and you could see the meters, like a couple of the guys had meters coming in the doorway. You could see them go off, and I'm like, okay, try to get a hug again. And we got our meters on his body, and the same thing happened again. And I was like, this is so crazy. She was actually giving this guy a hug. So from that point on, I said, I've got some other little dolls up there for her, but I think I have to get her a Boo Bear because she really likes it so much. And she held on to that thing, oh my gosh, I can't tell you, probably for 20 minutes. I mean, it was the most amazing thing I think I have ever seen. So then we've got the spirit box out and was trying to talk with her, but then we were getting stuff from others. And where the case comes in at is I think that Sheriff Keeler is looking after Audrey. But what I'm trying to figure out is who she was and where she came from. And obviously, she must feel safe up there with the sheriff. Occasionally, the sheriff's wife is up there too. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out more about Audrey. I don't have her last name yet. If anybody listening tonight locally knows of a little Audrey that belonged maybe to the hotel, feel free to message me at my email address 187pi at 187pi.com. And maybe if someone knows of who Audrey might be, because right now all my searchings and all my research is just coming up empty handed on who she is. And she has told us on occasion that she misses her mom and dad. So I do know her parents are not with her in the afterlife. She is on her own up there at the jail. So, but the sheriff has taken really good care of her, and everybody who comes for ghost hunts, she interacts with, and I think she likes the visitors. And with that, we'll be right back after this short break with more Ghost Talk Radio. You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama.
You're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experienced Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
45 minutes past the hour, you are listening to Ghost Talk Radio with me as your host, Shelly Robertson. We are broadcasting live on station WBHM from Ohio's most haunted jail, the Old Paulding County Jail, located in Paulding, Ohio. Now, I've been discussing cases within the jail, and if you missed the first part of the show, you can always listen to our show archives at your leisure on Spreaker, Google Play, iTunes, and iHeartRadio. We will also post the show archives on our Ghost Talk Radio Facebook page. Just go to Facebook, use your search feature, type in Ghost Talk Radio, and we will pop right up. Now, there are a few other cases that we're working on at the jail. And one of them, we have a spirit by the name of Charlie who talks to us here and there quite frequently. He likes whiskey and women. He lets us know. And the interesting thing about this is, while we haven't got the last name of Charlie, we think a very well could be Charles Hart. Now, Charles Hart, he was 18 and he was arrested and charged with the murder of 2 children of a farmer in Paulding County.